Just as a little test piece here, you can see just a little test piece, just to play around with this. And I'm looking at colours, so I've got a bit of green, black here, so I'm just going to put that there, and I am just going to. Sheep's eyes are weird, and actually goat's eyes are weird too. They have these vertical pupils, and you know, like the first time I saw that, I was quite freaked out by that. Cats, you know, have the they have the horizontal pupils, not vertical. Cats have vertical pupils. Sheep have horizontal pupils. They go across like that. And so do goats, and actually probably so do deers as well, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, that's a bit of trivia in case you didn't know that. So I just put that in with some green black. I'm going to put some of this green black on my palette, and actually I'm just testing this setup, see how it goes and what I need to change. The water here. I mean, I could drag that out, but then I've got that back window there, which is a bit bright. I've covered another window, so I'll just leave that like that. Yeah, so I want a bit of yellow ochre. I'll take a bit of that out too. And what I am doing, really only what I'm going to do here, it's nothing flash. I'm just putting down these colours that I'm using in this eye, so I can actually give some instruction on it on the weekend. Oh, that blended into there a bit. So I need something for that browny red. I could use burnt sienna. I could use orange. I've actually got here a bit of this magenta colour here. I'm going to zoom in again. This magenta. I might use a bit of that. Just be a bit brighter with it. I kind of probably want limited colours though, so I don't want a lot. I don't want a lot on my palette. I want the minimum, so I'll work that into there. This can do as a shadow up under the eye as it comes around here too, like this. I need some white as well, and maybe, yeah, if I mix that red with some of that black, that green black, I could get some of these tones down here. So I'll put the tones in before. It's a bit blue down here, I'm noticing. It's a little bit blue. I could turn my, I'll go a bit that way, yeah, that's better. A little bit blue grey, so I might get some mineral blue on the palette. Mineral blue colour. It's this colour here. Oh, the lighting's good. So I've improved my lighting since last time I was on. We just changed over the ceiling globes to something a bit stronger and bigger, wider and flatter. And they're pretty good actually, so I'm pretty happy with those. A bit cramped where my palette area is, but you know. So these are going up under these will go under the hair, you know. So I can and down here, and there's some shadow behind. So if I mix that with a bit of the this will do for the shadow behind that ear there, and come down here a bit. Yeah, okay, so now I'll put some white on my palette, because white white is good because you mix that with all the other colours. Did I put some burnt? No, I didn't, did I? I'll put some burnt sienna out too. But I do want to make a note of all my colours. So far I've got this. Oh, look at that. I need to move this down. I'll put that down there. I've got the 3 colours there. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add another one. Another colour. Number 4. This one's burnt sienna. Burnt sienna. Wipe my brush on my rag. Put a bit of this burnt sienna. These are acrylic paints too today. So that burnt sienna, if I mix that with the blue, if I mix those two together, I'll show you. I get kind of nice grey colour that will do for some of the things in the yards. Now, the good thing about acrylic paints is they dry pretty quick. So that's 1, 2, 3 colours in black. Okay, where's my white? Put my white out now. I mean, it looks bloody ugly at the moment. That's right. I haven't layered it on. You know, with acrylic paint they dry pretty quick. So 10 minutes and it'll be dry. So I've got white. I mean, I've got white on my. That's white. It's got a bit of tingeing from that other colour. And there's probably one more colour I think I want to put on there, but I won't need it actually. Oh, I didn't put magenta there. I reckon I'll just stick with that. So there's my magenta as well. So we'll put that there. Okay, that's going to be. I'm not going to put any more colours on than that. So I don't want to confuse myself. So now I can start mixing white in with some of this, right? A bit more white. I didn't put much white on. I'm going to have to let this dry, and you know what? I'm going to come back in a minute because I'm going to. I really want to get into that. Oh, I don't know. And I really need to hold a rag in my hand. Oh, hello. I have Clarissa Calella on here saying, hello, is this a new Bob Ross? Very relaxing. Thank you. Well, I'm glad it's relaxing. Yes, I like Bob Ross. I actually watched a bit of his stuff on here on Twitch the other day, and I agree, he's so relaxing. I never thought of him as relaxing before. And I love his voice. It's kind of sweet, isn't it? And so soothing. So yeah. Anyway, I'll dear. Okay. So now, where was I? Okay, I'm going to put. I should even be wearing my glasses, but I'm not. And maybe I should even put my palette up here. So I don't know. I'm new to this, so I'm getting used to it, and I really like it because it actually motivates me to do a bit of work. I get a bit lazy. You know, and unmotivated to get things finished. So I think being a typical artist, I'm a bit of a performer, so I do like to just be in here and have, well, it's very lonely work just sitting around painting all day, every day, but it's also soothing and yeah. Okay. So I want to build this eye up, and as you can with acrylic paints, it's really what you do. You're just putting paint on top of the next bit of paint, letting it dry in between, and it dries so quickly you don't really have to think about it too much, you know. The thing with oil paints is, which is good about oil paints, is you can wipe the paint off, you know. It could be quite a while since you put it on and it's still able to wipe it off, so that's the good advantage of that. But you can't really layer it up, and I find you can't, well, you can get thicker and thicker as you go, but with the oil paint, with acrylic paints, 5-10 minutes and it's pretty dry, and then you can just put your next layer on. So with my limited palette, this is good actually, because I really like this live stream, because I can look at what I've done on the screen and critique it, and it's almost like looking at it in a mirror, you know, with fresh eyes. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So the highlights in the black here are slightly blue. So what I'll do is tinge my white with the blue I've got on my palette, which is that blue there, and just dot those in there for the minute. We'll see how that looks. I mean, sometimes things don't really work and you can always change them after. There's a bit of interesting kind of tinge up there, so I might mix that blue with that brown, and a bit more blue and brown, and a tiny bit of white in there, maybe a little bit of black too, because it seems to be coming off that pupil, that elongated pupil is a bit grey. So strange, isn't it? That's such a strange pupil. What else is there here? I'm going to have to lighten the white of the eye up a bit. It is grey though, but I can add a little bit more tone in there. As I get, as I start building, I'm going to even go down a brush size. Oops, that's a bit dark. And smaller with a brush size, and start adding medium into the paint to thin it out, because I don't need it thick. With acrylic paint in Alla Prima, you go from thick to thin. You can go from thin to thick to thin, and in oil paint, I find you go from thin to thick, but then you have to wait till it dries. And that once it's thick, it's like that's days away for it to dry. Whereas acrylic paints, you can do it all within an hour or so. Now I'm thinking, mind you, I'm sure there's people who are really good at oil painting who don't have a problem at all with going, you know, doing things like that. Now, let me think. Talking and painting is I reckon a challenge in itself. A bit like playing the guitar and painting, isn't it? I reckon. I'm gonna add some hair on that, around it, so we can get a sense of the light. And so I might get more white out. So I'm going to mix white with that yellow ochre. I think I'm going to stick with this limited palette, just because the challenge is good. So take some of this white and some of this yellow ochre, and it's more yellow, maybe a bit of the brown in there too. So it's more yellow under the bottom side here. So I'm just gonna put that in a bit, not too, and there's some down here too. still yellow up here. I'm not too fussed about the way I use this brush. And actually, do you know what? I haven't even changed my brush. I'm still on the same brush. One brush wonder. You don't need a lot of brushes, really, I reckon, for painting. I mean, I've got a lot of brushes, and it's nice to have a lot of brushes, but you don't need a lot. So I'm going to use white with a tiny bit of blue. Bob Ross. I think, yeah, Bob Ross is great. He got a bit of a bad rap there, I reckon, for some in the art community for some reason. But seriously, when I've watched him, I love the way he just loves his paint, and loves sharing what he knows, what he knew. It's all about sharing art, I think, too. I like sharing. So this bit here is bluer. It goes yellower as it comes down here. We've got an ear thing here. Okay, so that's looking interesting. Now we've got some lashes there too. Lashes. They've got a little bit of yellow as I hit the end. I should probably do them. I'm going to put them in anyway now. Oh, so that's too yellow, that one, see? So I might knock it back with a bit of the blue. Spray it off a bit. So I'll just hit it in one like that, and I'll get up here like this. Bring that down there. Just using the flat of my brush a bit. Now I can put that bit of yellow, more yellowy with white in it, on top of that. Maybe. And we got down here. And okay, so I'll blue that off a bit more. Stick with this limited palette. I'm tempted to, add some more paint to my palette, but I don't want to. I want to keep it simple. Because in the end it's easier. Okay, well now I can go into the black and brown, black and the sienna, to get some of these darks back in here. And so I can just go backwards and forwards with my darks and my lights. There's some, as I see things happening. So that ear, now what's going to happen with this ear here? Does it kind of go up here, around there? And we've got this light bit here as it browns off, as it goes up there. It does kind of more white, more grey, the ear, pretty little ear. And we get that back bit there, and then this, and that dark, so I might put that real bit of light in this bit, to be a sheep. There's a bit here, and then that goes across. I just put that there like that. So I just got to think, how do I want to kind of finish it off too? That's another thing. So we've got the end of the here, and it gets a bit bluer behind there, and a bit yellower on top, warmer on top. And then I might wipe my brush, not even wash it, just take some straight white. Just get that. I've gone quite thick now. Is that ear? And then we get light up here, so I might wash it. Now I'll wash my brush. And I'll get some more white out. I'm using more white than I thought, but that's how it is. You know, when you do that, you do use a lot of white. You use a lot of white when it's a white animal. But you could, you can actually paint white animals without using any white at all. That might be something interesting to do. Still haven't changed my brush. So, I'll get back into that eye in a minute. I'll just play around with, might add a bit of that magenta into, get a bit of a pinky colour going. If I come down here, maybe, oh yeah, that's not a bad colour. And that does, if I add a little bit of more magenta and blue into that, then I can take some of these hairs up here and more yellow into it now as I come under the ear, I think. But how much do I want to go in there? It's all about tone actually too, it's tone. Square that off a bit. Square it off a bit. Messy streaks. I could get my fan brush out, but it's not something I use a lot of, is a fan brush, to be honest. Alright, I am going to put some black on it. I'm going to change my brush. I'm going to go down a brush size, down to a little, if I can find one. Little brush like this. So I'll take some of that black and I can add a bit of medium to it, just a bit of painter's medium, and I'll really just I can neaten these lines up now, and that's the thing. I mean, that's dry enough already to do this, which is pretty cool when you think about it. So I could probably, oops, I just went a bit big there, but if I add a tiny bit of white or the blue into my black, I get a slightly lighter value, and I can put some of the hair back, the dark black skin under through the hair here, and some shadow under there like that. And I want to wipe that off. Put some of that there. So, okay. Blue. I think I want more brown in that now. I think I want these hairs to go in this direction. And a little bit of brown up there. And I could get much darker here. I think I'll go back to this other brush and take an almost Actually, I might make it a warm value, so I'll add some, I'll mix some of that red, that magenta with the black for under here. So we've got this one, that should give me, see if I can bring some hair into it as well. And up through there too. So I might add a bit of more blue into that purple there. So this will be there. And hair. So give me a bit of a fold. And then it does come down here and it gets a bit lighter as we go up. So I might grey it off with a bit of white and maybe a bit of brown in there too. Remember, I'm still using this limited palette. Where is my brown gone? Down on brown. Down on brown. Yeah. And then I hopefully, I don't even know how long I've been doing this for, but I don't know, 10, 11. A little bit of pinky kind of in through under that eye there. I can see some pinky grey here. I want to keep going with it. And here. You get to about here and you kind of go, oh, I should sort of stop for a second and think about it, but I need to do a bit more. Maybe I will get the fan brush out. Oh, I need some lighter values just here too, so more white. Don't have to put in every single hair strand though. So it's white with a bit of blue to cool it off. Or I could do white with a bit of black to cool it off, because it is, just use my brush in every direction. White with a bit of yellow to warm it up. White with a bit of yellow and blue to green it up a bit. Just green it, because I can sort of see green through there. And use my brush like that. And here. And what else? Pink, white with a bit of pink to give me a pinky colour, which could actually do from there. Not that there really is pink in this, but I'm going to put it in anyway because I like a bit of pink. I am going to put it on this kind of made a lash thing. See if I can, I'm not washing my brush, so I'm seeing if I can make a bit of green with the mess up on my brush. Maybe I have to wipe it. I'm a bit lazy sometimes. And then I got to remember, what was I going to do with this? Just going to shape that there. And now one more swish on the eye, I reckon. So I'm going to get a very soft brush this time, nice and soft and small, and take some of that straight yellow ochre, and just put in that shaky hand. I got a shaky hand. a little bit, yeah, a little bit of stage fright going on here, but oh, a bit there. Oh, and a little bit of red into that yellow for this bit down here, and this back bit. I've got to soften that down a bit, and then a tiny bit of blue into it, just the tiniest smidge if I can. I think next one I'll put my palette on show to you, but if I can work out how to do that. I can do it with oils, but since I haven't tried it with acrylics yet, I'm just going to take that bit down there, maybe put some of those little marks in there. Oh, and I want a nice cool bit of white, so white with a tiny bit of blue or black in it, maybe black, make a really, make a really light grey. Oh no, maybe the blue, keep putting too much in. And I'm going to use something here. And I'm going to smudge some highlight through there with my finger. Yep, and then just doink that bit there. What else? Anything else? I really should. I actually need to brighten that up a little bit more now, because that really is forwards in this painting. So I might just tiniest bit of yellow in there, if possible. More white. And one more thing. Straight out of the tub. Straight out of the tub, I am going to put this bit of white back on there like that. Is that too bright is the question. Is it too bright? Just dragging my brush a bit, actually. I think it's okay. I think it'll do. Okay. One more touch up. I think I'll do one more little bit, and then I need some more brown out. Brown out. Not a blackout, a brown out. Here we are, my sienna. Grab a bit more of that in it. I can see mistake. I can see mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to use that brown and some blue. Brown and blue. I'm just going to change the angle of that there, and just bring some tone down there with daubs. Daubs like that. And then I want to soften that bit of red because it is a bit too red. It's a bit too red. So I'll brown that out as well. Bit of brown in there. Bit of brown mixed with blue and red. Still using this limited palette. So it's okay. We need some more more lashes. I could use a really tiny brush now, like a really tiny thin thing like this, pointy little thing. Get a nice point on that and actually put in some of these lashes so I can, you know, they kind of come in all directions really. So they fuzz out a bit there, kind of come over that way a bit, and then you don't have to do a lot of that really. I don't ever think, but you can do them. And a few little dots here because they're going in that direction, and I could even, you know, do reverse hairs. So I could do reverse hairs by just taking the black or whatever dark it is and just doing the reverse, so putting them back in between like that and do some reverse stuff. If I tone that down to the blue a bit with white, I can put some of these back in too. So there's a few things you can do like that. Do I need to darken that pupil at all? This was super fun. I mean, these kind of little things are fun. Little studies. I'll just put that, darken that pupil with some straight black again. Yeah, they're good. Good to do. Let's try that. And I am going to stop because I have to go check this audio and get ready for work. And check it. See if it worked. I wonder if it did work. I hope so. I'm going to put that little dot in there. Now I think I know why Bob Ross whispered. Because you're kind of concentrating. You're kind of going, okay. You don't want to disturb the paint too much. And we just put them there. And we'll make that go up there and up there like that. Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. For a little live sesh. And painting for an audience takes a bit of practice, I think. It will. And to not be nervous and be too critical of yourself. Yeah. Okay, one sheep's eye. One sheep's eye. There we go. Good. I'll check this and I'll do some more later. Maybe like, you know, I enjoy this so much I'll probably do it every moment I come in the studio and actually do some serious painting. Adios.